All right, YouTube, let's chat. So as I was out and about today, I've been just taking notice of a lot of things here recently. And not all of it has to do with Halloween, but I would just get into something that just is extremely odd to me. But as I was driving around today, looking at Halloween stuff, trying to find stuff in stores, and really just looking at the first world problems here. Like, I'm getting mad that there's no Halloween out in the stores, and I wasn't really looking at the bigger picture here, because there really is a bigger picture. There's a lot going on in the world that we're not paying attention to, because we're here pissed off that Home Depot doesn't have our July 15th back orders ready. You know, there's no Halloween set up in the stores. And as I was going around, I went to Home Depot, I went to Big Lots, I went to Family Dollar, and I went to Dollar General and Dollar Tree. And almost none of these stores had anything in stock. Now let's rewind to 2021. None of these stores had any stock. Everything was stuck on cargo ships, stuck in the ports, and we couldn't even get materials, supplies. We couldn't get anything here last year. And now all of a sudden we have an absolute abundance of everything, because finally everything was released through the ports, and now all these stores have everything in stock from last year. And then this year, that stores were literally like throwing stuff away last year, and into this year, you know, there's a lot of discounted stuff throughout the year. And it just made me sit back and think as I was driving to all these other stores. The biggest one that stood out to me today was Goodwill. Now I'll get into the other portion of this. So I stopped at Goodwill, and usually by now Goodwill has a giant sign out front, a huge banner that says like your Halloween superstore or something goofy, like your Halloween headquarters. That's what it is. They didn't have that banner, and I did not get a picture of this. I wish I would have. It was like the biggest banner of now hiring all positions. They had tons of those little perforated cardboard signs in the front yard all around it. Normally, it's a huge Halloween banner with a ton of Halloween signs in the front yard. Normally around this time, end of August, beginning of September. This year, nothing. I walked in the store, no Halloween. It was a little bit of Christmas in the store. But it got me thinking about all the other stores I was just at. I was at Home Depot. I saw a few employees running around. They have a little bit of stuff set up, not a whole lot. Not much more than my original video I did last week. Again, my stuff is still back ordered and not coming in until probably the 9th to the 13th. So I don't know if this store is going to then put this stuff out or what's going to happen. But just sitting there looking at what employees were there and the amount of stuff that was set out at Home Depot just made me sit and think about other things. Because then I went to Big Lots. They didn't have a whole lot out. I know they got inventory. All these other stores got tons of inventory. I see posts from all over the place. You know, this store's set up. This Home Depot's got a ton of stuff out. You know, this Mark's, which is an Ohio store, has a ton of inventory, and mine doesn't. You know, all my Lowe's are just now finally set up. My Spirit Halloweens just opened up, like literally yesterday, which was Monday, the 29th. And there's been other stores that's been open for a while yet. But just the whole common denominator here is employees. That is the whole thing I'm getting at here. I went to Big Lots. There was 2 employees in that whole damn store. I went to Home Depot. There was a little bit more. Obviously, it's a lot bigger of a corporation. They got a lot more people on hand. But still, they're understaffed. They have a huge now hiring sign. Big Lots had a huge now hiring sign out front, hiring all positions. There was multiple pages stuck to the front doors. 2 employees in that whole store I saw. One lady was trying to stock Halloween stuff. The other lady was at the cash register. I went to Dollar Tree. There was one person in that whole store, and she was trying to do stuff in the back. There was no one else. There was people ringing the bell at the cash register, and this poor lady was trying to keep up with that. Dollar General, I'm pretty sure their whole damn store motto is let's just not employ anybody. I have a screenshot that I'll throw up on the screen here. Literally somebody posted at a local Dollar General here, and it's more of like a shock because they're open like 2 hours a day, like 8 a.m. to like 10 a.m. And I heard, reading through that post on Facebook, that they're not allowed to open until there is a manager on site. And going through that post, that manager runs 3 locations. So they have that one manager spread so thin that she's in control of, or he or she is in control of 3 different locations. And this one is suffering. And it's like one of the newer ones around. And they're open like wicked hours. It's wild. I'll show a picture of this. And obviously they don't have employees. How in the hell can you open up if you don't have employees? Like, it was mind-boggling. Goodwill, there was one person in that whole store. There might have been one more person in the back. But for them to have just signs all over and a massive banner really put everything into perspective. As, I went to Dollar Tree, Goodwill, Family Dollar was another one. There was one lady in that store at the cash register and one lady stocking like the clearance shelves. Not a lot of Halloween in there, which is not a Halloween store to begin with, but I figured I'd pop in there to see what they had. But again, 2 people in that whole store working. So I kind of sat and thought about, why am I not seeing Halloween around here? I'm having my first world problems, all pissed off that there's no Halloween around to buy, and that my Halloween orders aren't in from the middle of July. And I just started thinking about this, letting it all sink in as I've noticed this, going to 4 or 5 different stores. Like, it's because my area doesn't want to work. They cannot get employees to even, 1, come to work, 2, people to even apply, and 3, people to show up and just work. Like, I don't know how people are surviving if we're just letting Uncle Sam be our sugar daddy, or what's going on. This is like the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life. And obviously this isn't the first time I've seen this and noticed this. Really put it all into just perspective here for me that's real close to home. Like, all of my local stores don't have employees. So I can see why nothing is being stocked on the shelves, why the stores are low on inventory, or why the inventory is not even out in the first place. Because we don't have anyone to work the damn job to stock the shelves. They can't get anyone to work. I've never seen a banner that big on top of a freaking Goodwill. It was literally the entire front of the store now hiring. And that blew my mind. So just looking and seeing the common denominator between all these stores, we don't have employees around here. Nobody around here wants to work. I seen on a Facebook page that somebody had posted that, hey, if you apply for a job, you can see the store locator, but you don't have to finish the application. You can only get so far in the app, and then you can kind of see where your stores are going to be for the year. So I got on there and saw where my stores were going to be. I got about midway through the application, saw them like, okay, we're going to be here. They're not going to open a store in this location this year. So for shits and giggles, I've decided to fill out the application. I said, the hell with it, I'm halfway here. Let's just see. And about a week later, I got a phone call from a random number. I answered it, and literally the woman on the phone hired me right now on the spot. No interview, no nothing. I literally submitted my application on their website through their whole system, And about a week later, I got a phone call, hired on the spot. And I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. You know, I work a professional haunted house. I have a day job. I have kids in sports. Like, this isn't going to work out. And I was juggling, do I want to work the haunted house or would I want to work at Spirit Halloween? And working the haunted house is more my style. I don't think I'm built for working in retail stores, especially Spirit Halloween. When you're coming in there trying to buy one of these piece of shit animatronics for $300, you come back 2 weeks later and realize it's a piece of shit and not worth $300 and it broke. I don't know what to tell you, man. Call Spirit and get your refund. And I look at a couple things when I'm buying a brand new animatronic. Number one being, will it still look badass when it's broke? Will it make a cool static prop? And number two, does it do something cool? Does it say something cool? Is it cool in general when it's working? Because Lord knows these things aren't going to last. They're built cheap as hell. You've ever heard of trimflation? They're building these things in a faraway land for dirt cheap, pennies on the dollar, and they're charging us an arm and a leg for them, making insane profits. And the numbers just keep going up. Prices are going insane. But anyway, back to the whole job deal is today just kind of really put everything into perspective of like how bad it really is. Like, I got a job at Spirit Halloween and it was kind of like just applying as a joke kind of thing. Not really, but I was taking it serious there for a minute, and then I just came to, and I told him, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I got way too much on my plate, and I'm just sitting there wondering, like, it's that bad. I didn't even have to go for an interview. I was literally phone called, hired, done. You start this day. Okay, what in the hell? And then, like, they're just taking damn near anyone that applies, I guess, apparently. I don't know what, that was wild. But it just kind of really, that, having that and then seeing all this today at all these stores, it was just really eye-opening of how bad the job force really is. And I don't really know what on earth people are doing for money, because I'm working full-time job. I do YouTube, which I don't make a shitload off of that, but I make some money from it. And then I do odds and end jobs. I work a haunted house that I get paid for, and do, a lot of other things to make money, to make ends meet around here. And then there's people that just don't work. There is nobody wanting to work. How the hell are bills being paid? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But, man, be prepared, because something's going on. Like, something big. I mean, before the Ronies came in, everyone was working. A lot of people had jobs. Unemployment was down, and now all of a sudden unemployment's skyrocketing, and it's not because there's no jobs. I can damn sure promise you that it's not because there isn't any jobs. And that's the way it was in the past. There wasn't that many jobs, and now everyone is hiring. Go walk outside, walk in front of any business. Even my local businesses here in town, this little bar and grill at the end of my street has been looking for a cook for like 6 months. I got a friend of mine a job there, but they still need somebody else. It's just wild to me that no one wants to work. Like, what happened? Why is there no one to fulfill these jobs? What happened to these people post-Ronies? Like, once the Ronies came in, all these jobs disappeared, and no one, like, what? I can't wrap my head around this. What is going on? But buckle up, because we're in for a real bumpy ride. And we're sitting here worried about Halloween decorations not being on the shelves when there's a way bigger picture we need to be looking at. We're pissed off we can't buy a 12-foot skeleton when these companies are pissed off they can't get anyone to work for them to stock the shelves with these 12-foot skeletons, or truck drivers to haul their shit, employees to stock the shelves. You know, you need somebody to do inventory. There's no one. We're in for some dark times, folks, and I think we need to stop worrying a little bit about all this shit that doesn't matter. Focus on a bigger picture, because there's definitely something else going on at a way bigger scale that a lot of us have never witnessed before, because I'm witnessing it at my full-time job. We can't get anyone to work for us, and we're in a very weird situation, and we don't know what to do. No one is applying for jobs. It's wild. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Used to be there was people knocking down your doors. Now, if you decided to up and leave, you could go anywhere you wanted because everyone's hiring. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I think it's only going to get worse. And it definitely has to get worse before it gets better, right? So I guess I'll leave you with this. What the hell is going on? Remember, like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments down below what you think is going on. And I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.